The fact that we're eating radically different food and that there's whole foods, that entire like groups of foods that are called kid food, and then somehow we're expecting the kids to grow out of that into their adult food.
Wow.
We've got 30-year-olds who are still eating the chicken nuggets and the mac and cheese, and this is a significant problem for their nutritional status. So I mean, the kids' meals they're just marketing to us. They're allowing food marketers have convinced parents that they want us to buy their products. Therefore, they're telling us that it's easy, it's fast, you can feed your kids what they want, you can avoid the battles and the power struggles and the fights. And unfortunately, I do think all of this really readily available kid-friendly convenience food has just made it easier for picky eaters to become pickier.
Yes.
Right? Like it's not parenting research actually shows that the style of parenting, the way parents eat, the parents like even level of depression cannot create a picky eater. The picky eater is created is inside the child's body. However, we can feed that picky eater. We can
Yes.
feed the picky eating tendencies and fuel it more by kind of giving in and allowing the kids to eat what they want,
Yes.
which unfortunately is because it's so convenient. So we've got
Right.
to change this whole definition and structure that
Yes.
kids' meals should even exist.
Okay, that's also good. And yeah, I'd say we're enabling those picky eaters, right? And I know you have a lot more to say on that, but I feel like I should pause here because I think you're going to agree with me. We don't want anyone listening to feel condemned, judged. Like, this is a reality that I think we just haven't talked about enough in our culture. Most of us, I have been guilty of this. Like, this isn't something that if you realize as we're talking that you have been raising a picky eater or that you've been buying into kids' meals, no judgment. But let's talk about what we can do to change that. First, though, tell us what that's leading to. You have found all kind. You have done your research. What happens when we do these kids' meals that are mostly, what do you say, beige and bland? And what does this lead to? What's the problem with it?
We're really closing down kids' palates because you're right. If we think about popular kid foods, chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, pizza, pancakes, waffles, French fries, they're really a pretty basic visual palate. They're generally fairly bland foods. They tend to be easy to chew, right? Hot dogs, sausages, chicken nuggets, they're kind of pre-chewed meat.
Ugh.
And so we're closing down kids' palates by reducing the variety that they're exposed to, which is just going to be a snowball effect. The more we allow it to be closed down, the more it's going to be closed down, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So expanding the palate to a wider variety of foods is very important. We're closing down the nutritional options that our kids' bodies have to
Right.
accept. We're probably creating, a gut dysbiosis in throwing off the beneficial microbes that are down there if we're not giving them, especially fruits and vegetables and maybe fermented foods. And really, we're interfering, I think, with the child's ability to build a good relationship with food. Because these highly processed foods, I mean, they've got the pizzazz of, if you think about like there are kids who are really drawn to like fire Cheetos and then the highly, highly seasoned stuff. Those are packed with MSG, which is short circuiting their brain and telling them, eat more, this is amazing. Or we've got, the really sort of bland palate basic foods. And both of those, especially again, highly processed foods, lots of sugar, all that, it's really short circuiting our kids' relationship with food. They don't even understand how to encounter new foods and how to be curious instead of fearful at the table. So I think as parents, it's easy to look at a meal, that this meal is, I need to get nutrients in this meal, or I need to avoid a battle with this meal, whatever your motivation is. But we've got to look at parenting as that 18-year game. And when I launch a kid at 18 or whenever that is, I want them to have a good relationship with food. I want them to be able to encounter new foods and not be scared of them. And if we're constantly feeding the same nutrient deficient food, we're really sabotaging their ability to even do that.